But regardless of whether you're vegetarian, vegan, or you're a meat eater, I put everyone on a multivitamin, guys. I really do. I put everyone on vitamin D3 with K2. You have to have K2. Diet is such a huge part of treatment for perimenopause, menopause, and osteoporosis prevention, which we are talking a lot about this week and this month going into Mother's Day, because we have an event coming up. If you didn't know, Dr. Desiree Lyle and I from Raise Bar Physical Therapy, me from Dr. Nicole Smith from Antigravity Wellness, we are putting together an osteoporosis workshop that will be May 9th, 10:30 at CrossFit Unrestrained in Pasco. So thank you to Dana for hosting us again for one of our events. Very generous of her to lend us her gym. I wanted to talk to you guys about diet. I'm working on recipe drops. So this is something a little unusual in my practice. All my patients get recipes. They get meal plans, they get recipes. I just re-enrolled in that Claim Knife because honestly, it's beautiful. It's easy to use. So we're just going to do it. And it's integrated with my electronic medical record. I use Practice Better, where people can, my patients can message me and everything, and it's HIPAA compliant. So that's what we use. And then I give them protocols. Every time I see them, they get a new protocol saying, here's what we talked about. Here are any changes that we're making, side effects to watch for, when to contact us, when to go to urgent care, when to go to ER, what your dietary recommendations are based on your last visit, what your labs are, and what your exercise recommendations are based on where you're at and your last visit. So they get a new one every time. And then some of them have upgrades to where they have more one-on-one, like coaching type of thing. So it's a very interesting blend of practice that I've created, that something I always wish I had. So, so I'm putting together these recipes and kind of like not meal plans necessarily, but they're like recipe drops. So they get, I can show you guys actually. Show you up on the screen here. So like this is this last month here. So you can see if you're looking at the video. So we have, because we're in the Pacific Northwest, guys, we have seasonal selections here. So we're focused on things like asparagus and peas and things like that. Arugula, really great local foods that are in season. Strawberries, if we're getting them from California. Our strawberries up here aren't ready yet. So we've got an asparagus and pea frittata, an asparagus and mushroom frittata. Mushrooms are also in season right now. Scrambled egg whites with tomato and some asparagus. The tomatoes aren't quite ripe here, but we can still get them from other locations. You can also swap out anything that's local, seasonal type of foods. Strawberry green smoothie with some spinach. That's still in season, although it's been such a warm spring. A lot of the spinach has bolted. Yogurt, raspberries, and walnuts. Blueberry banana oat bars. That looks good. Hummus, edamame, and seed crackers. Ham and cheese rice cakes. Spinach and ginger soup with crispy tofu. So we do have some options there for those who want to do a little bit more plant-based. Definitely boosting up. By the way, little side note, if you're a vegetarian or vegan, your protein needs are actually much, much higher. It does not get into your system the same way. It just doesn't. We need more protein, plant-based protein sources when we're focusing on that for our source. The background is so bright and I am so dark. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sitting in the shade, but the sun is behind me, or it's actually overhead. So we got to keep that in mind. So for women in perimenopause, we're looking at 1 gram per pound of ideal body weight. So for the average size woman, say roughly 5'5", I'm looking at trying to get her to 120 to 120 to 140 grams of protein per day, depending on her activity level and her needs and all that good stuff. And there's really no one that we don't want to have them on a higher protein diet, except for those in like significant renal failure, kidney failure. They can't clear protein as easily, but we're talking like stage 2 to 3, mostly stage 3. Even in early kidney disease, we actually still want you to have plenty of protein. But otherwise, it does not hurt your kidneys, guys. If you have perfectly healthy kidneys, that does not hurt it. Not nearly so much. Do you see the bear back there? That's Maui. He's a bear. He's a shepherd Malamute. He's a big boy. So we need you to eat more protein when you're on a vegetarian or vegan diet. And we also have to be very mindful of like your B vitamin sources, your iron sources, things like that, because nutrient deficiencies are really common in those diets. It can be done. It can be done in a really very well thought out way. I was vegan actually for 2 years. I even went raw vegan for a hot minute. It's just really hard to maintain. And especially like when I was in Portland, it was a lot easier. I moved back to the Tri-Cities and it's gotten better, but I remember like Frost Me Sweet was the only bakery around that had gluten-free vegan options. So I love that place. So still a place in my heart with all the frosting in the middle of the cupcakes. But it can be very difficult to maintain. So if that's something you're struggling with, I can definitely help with that. We do nutrition plans, and we really think those things through to make sure that you're getting everything you need as much as possible. But regardless of whether you're vegetarian, vegan, or you're a meat eater, I put everyone on a multivitamin, guys. I really do. I put everyone on vitamin D3 with K2. You have to have K2. And we're going to talk. I just did an article on this. If you go over to my Substack, you can see it there also on antigravitywellness.com, the blog, which is more bloggy. If you want to like read more of a article, paragraphs and stuff like that, it's over on Substack. We need vitamin K2 with our vitamin D3. Why this isn't included in every freaking vitamin D supplement is stupid. Because if you're just taking a bunch of vitamin D and then especially if you're supplementing with calcium, which we don't necessarily want to do, very minimal extra supplementation. We really want to get it from our diet. So for women under the age of menopause, we're looking at 1,000 milligrams per day from dietary sources. Women over the age of menopause, so that's 12 months without your period, we're looking at 1,200 milligrams a day, primarily from food, because it just absorbs better and it goes where it's supposed to go. We need K2, so we need vitamin D. We need adequate vitamin D to absorb the calcium. We need the K2 to tell the calcium where to go, because otherwise the calcium likes to build up in our arteries, and that is definitely a concern. So if we're jacking up your calcium intake and your vitamin D without K2, we're running the risk of creating atherosclerotic disease, which is not what we want to do. It's very, very important. There's not really good recommendations for K2. So that's another question. Like, how much do I need? Well, you need like 400 micrograms, upwards of that amount. Unless you're on warfarin, or have some weird clotting disease that we need to worry about, there's really no like upper limit for vitamin K. Your gut does make some, but we definitely need to make sure we're supplementing with that with the D3. I prefer D3 over D2 because both of them need to be processed in the body. I had this misconception too that D3 was the active form. It's more active, but it's not the most active form. They still need to be processed through the liver and the kidneys. So if you have any issues going on, this is why I don't like D2, because it's harder for that to process through. And if you have like a genetic variance where you don't process that as well, or you have any kidney issues that they're a little bit, not working as well as they could be, one of the places that vitamin D gets activated is in the kidneys. So D3 is the best form. Everyone should just be on D3. It gets converted the best. It works better, like 83% better. Like, why are we even doing this? And we don't need to bolus it. There's no need to bolus. That used to be a thing. We'd put you on like super high dose D2 once a week to try and get your levels up. It's not indicated. That's not actually what we should be doing. So I just give it every single day. If you're low, and we absolutely check levels, by the way. I don't just like randomly give people vitamin D. Although pretty much everyone in the Pacific Northwest, we need our vitamin D, even though it's beautiful and sunny today, right? But we're really high above the equator. It's pretty like I'm on the eastern side of Washington, so there's more sun and there's less rain, but we still just don't get enough exposure. And if you have a genetic variance like I do, you don't convert as well from your skin exposure. The cholesterol in your skin getting converted to vitamin D and going through the process. Mine doesn't do it as well. So I definitely have to take a supplement, and a lot of people do. And especially those people who actually have darker skin tones, they suffer even more. So it's even more common in those women who have darker skin tones, and men too. Vitamin D3, K2, what else? Calcium. We talked about calcium. We want to get it from diet. So really good dietary sources. Dairy is obviously a very good one. The dairy industry did a really good job of informing us of that, but it's not the only place we get it from. So there's other fortified places we can get it from, non-dairy, milks, yogurts. They're fortifying their products with calcium, and it is better to try and get it, even though it is fortified. So it's technically, kind of supplemental. It's still better than taking a straight supplement for it. Spinach is not so great because it has oxalates, which actually bind up calcium, but the other leafy greens are great. They don't have as many oxalates, so those are great. Those are really good sources. Things like mackerel, sardines, especially with the little bones in them. Those are good sources if that's something that you like. And egg yolks are really good and really high in calcium, vitamin D, and all that good stuff. So those are really good sources that you want to incorporate into your diet. And again, that's something that I do for my patients. That if I have a patient, especially who we are worried about their bone health, we're going to make sure to really dial in their diet and get all those micronutrients that they need. They need the calcium, they need vitamin D, they need the magnesium, they need boron, they need iron. Like all of these things work together. They need to make sure that their thyroid is working properly, because if their thyroid is sluggish, it's going to affect their entire system, including their bone health. So all of these things work together in a system. So that's why we take a look at all of it. And diet is always the number one treatment for anything that I do. It's like the baseline. So, before we even talk about exercise, we talk about diet. And of course, we also talk about sleep, but your diet and your sleep are actually pretty closely related there too. So we talk about timing, we talk about macronutrients, and all that good stuff. So definitely go check out that article that I wrote over on Substack if you're interested in more. The next one I'm going to probably do is on magnesium specifically, because that's also really important. And a lot of perimenopausal women don't get enough magnesium. They deplete it. We're stressed. Our bodies are burning through it like crazy, and we need it for our bone health. So it is definitely a key component to that nobody really knows about. Everybody knows about calcium, right? We all know, again, dairy industry did a really good job of teaching us about that in their marketing, but there's so many other components to it that are really important. So I hope you guys are having a great day. I hope you had a good lunch, and let me know if you have any other questions about diet and perimenopause and like the effects of that. It can affect everything from your hot flashes to your moods to your PMS symptoms to your body composition, and then of course your long-term health, your osteoporosis risk, your heart disease risk, all of these things. Diet, let food be thy medicine and medicine be thy food, right? So it's really, really important. All right, guys, I hope you're having a great day, and I will catch you on the next one. Bye.